in my reading, I've noted that the use of 183 days minimum as a criterion to establish residence is considerably common. What is the origin of this criterion? In Brian's explanation of this criterion, it is said that an individual present in a country for 183 days or more can be considered as a resident for that year unless they establish that they do not have a dwelling in the country. I would like to understand how the dwelling issue can nullify the 183-day presence for the individual. So the answer to that is the 183-day rule is a widely adopted criterion used by many countries to determine tax residency. The origin of the rule can be traced to the desire for a clear quantitative measure that tax authorities can use to assess residency without ambiguity. The 183-day threshold generally corresponds to more than half the days of a calendar year, which supports the presumption that a person with such significant physical presence in a country has substantial personal and economic ties to that country. Okay. The origin of the rule is designed to provide a straightforward test that can be applied to determine if someone is a tax resident of a country in the absence of more complex factors. Its practical approach it is a practical approach and is included in many bilateral tax treaties, often reflecting the model tax conventions provided by major international economic organizations such as the OECD or the United Nations. Okay, so that's that's just that question there. The role of a dwelling in nullifying the 183-day rule. So when Brian Arnold discusses how the presence of dwelling might impact the application of the 183-day rule, he touches on a critical aspect of residency determination. According to this perspective, even if an individual is present in a country for 183 days or more, having a dwelling elsewhere can challenge the assumption of tax residency. Okay, and so here's just some examples of that. Alternative permanent home. If an individual can prove that they have a permanent residency in another country, this can serve as obviously evidence that their economic and personal life is centered outside the country where they have spent the 183 days. Center of vital interests. If an individual's personal or economic relations, in other words, his center of vital interests, are stronger in another country where they have a dwelling, this too can counteract the effects of the 183 days. And then habitual abode. The habitual abode test looks at where the person habitually lives despite the days count. If the habitual living space is in a place is in another country, this could challenge the presumption of residency. And then nationality or citizenship, obviously. In some cases, the individual's nationality or country of citizenship can also play a role. All right, so that should cover that question.